LLC or FLE. FLE is based Air Technology, but our company's called Black Series Edition LLC. That's somebody asked me about that. So you say Black Series Edition, but add the FLE. Under the copyrights, it'll be Black Series Edition LLC. But yeah, hold on for a minute. I'm trying to figure out where the freak did my stand go to. I have a box stand in here. Where's my old faithful box stand? Don't tell me I threw it away. Oh man, where's my stand? And then you got ridicule from my box stand. Where is my box stand at? Hold on for a minute. I can't find my box stand for Jack in here. Like, where's my box stand at? I just had it. Oh, here it is right here. I had to organize in this place. My box stand. I love this thing. I do. It's my box stand. And somebody told me about how I'm poor because I choose to put myself on in a box. I like putting myself on in a box. I like to be sufficient. That's what I do. Be sufficient. Anyway. So, multi-decisions that I had to go through to figure out exactly how to put a projection screen in here. And again, it's not freaking easy due to the fact that this environment's a lot different than what I'm used to using in different other environments. So, I give you an idea here why we had a difficult time installing a screen in here, and it was interesting. So basically in here, the walls are wallpaper. The gray wallpaper walls. See how they look at texture of the wall? Yeah, so can't exactly paint over this. Reason why you can't paint over it because you cannot put it back in the original state because it's wallpaper. You know what I mean? There's no way to do that. So basically, I came up with several ideas. The reason why I'm explaining this because I have this video is for other people too because they're asking why it's so long to get screens in here. Oh man! So we're going to go to motorized screen. Mind you, I got to carry this thing up here. Motorized screens are huge, especially if you're talking about we got to be over 100 inches. So 120 inch motorized screen. I've painted one of those in are huge screens. 150s and they're huge. So mind you got to keep in mind there's a massive motor attached to this thing. It is heavy. So we can't attach this thing to the wall. We have to literally bolt it into the wall. Again, don't want to touch the walls. I came up with a bookcase system. We put two bookcases in here. We'll put a piece of wood across it. We'll attach it to that. But then again, I don't want two big bulky. I don't want to crowd the place. That's not going to work. The same thing with the fixed frame screen. Not going to work. Too big, too heavy. Left something that big, the size of this, up here and attach it. It has to be attached to the wall because there's no other way to attach it. And again, I thought about a grommet system. We did one in the apartment. We just had screws, but again, can't touch the wall, so cancel out. Build a screen. Again, the wood would need to build a screen this size would be huge. A lot of wood. We can't cut, we can't use tools up here. We're in an office area. If I'm in a workshop, I still got to transport it here, which means a screen like that, you have to build it where it's going to be at. At this size, there's no way in the world you're going to get that thing through a door. It's not going to happen at all, period. If the staircase and everything, it's going to be a complete nightmare. So no, there's no can do. And again, back to the fixed frame screen, which I went back to that again. Happen either, because again, fixed frame screen, when you paint these things, that material, that PVC material, as somebody suggested in a YouTube video, which was sadly mistaken on that one, you do not want to take apart a fixed frame screen once you paint over it. Because what happens is that elastic material allows it to stretch so freely around the frame doesn't exist anymore. And that thing becomes an absolute nightmare to put it back in. It's like the fight with fitted sheets, if you know what I mean. Having a king-size bed and trying to put a small fitted sheet over it, that's pretty much what you're going to go through. Someone made a suggestion about removing that. No, I tell people before you do that, make these suggestions that could potentially mess up people's investments. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you've done enough fixed frame screens to know what you're talking about. Because again, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on with fixed frame screens that a lot of people, if you haven't bought enough of them, you will realize exactly they're not all built the same. Some are going to be super crazy heavy. Some of them are going to be lightweight, which is going to be nice, but sometimes I've seen with the support bar in the middle was flimsy and it bent in one of them. The brackets that they give you that connect from one end to the next, sometimes they're not even the ports where they slide into those grooves. They're not even grind down correctly, and you can have pieces of metal sticking up out of there that could be blocking your potential screen from locking in correctly. That's an issue. Some of them get real cheap. They mix those metal brackets in with plastic. So it's kind of a plastic, more plastic than process. So now your screen is halfway pushing off the wall. There's a whole lot of stuff that can go wrong with those things. So, and again, the spring system, don't even get me started on the spring system. The spring system, I've seen some of them make the springs literally too short. So that way you would have to literally, as I said before, turn into the Incredible Hulk just to get that surface over to click into the frame. Freaking nightmare. Elite, I think, is the only one. Yeah, they are the only one who actually did it perfectly. I've never used tools when I used the Elite setup. But everybody else, wow, I can't stand. And then you got the peg system. Those are the ones that slide on the rail. Those are the easiest ones. Silver Ticket has those. That's why we go into the Silver Tickets. But the Silver Tickets 235.1s, oh my goodness, what the freak. So it's beautiful, but they made the holes too big. So mind you, you're putting a tension rod through a screen. It's about almost roughly about 235.1. That's a lot of line to be running through. And mind you, every time you run the line through, it pops through one of the holes. It put it back down. It pops through one of the holes. They just made the holes just a little bit smaller, but it'd been nice to just slide it right through. So there's a whole lot of stuff you need to know when you're basically buying fixed frame screens. And the reason why we know that because we bought a lot of them. So we know we bought everything from 150s to 135s. We bought a lot of them. And I know which companies actually have the best ones and which ones are the actually worst. That screen called Shelby, whatever, good gracious, I'll never ever buy one of those things ever again. You ever lift up a 57 Chevy car door? Any kind of steel door, especially a 57 Chevy, them old cars, you ever try to lift one of those doors before? You can't lift those doors, they're super heavy. That's what that thing felt like when I was carrying it around. The Elite screen, on the other hand, super freaking lightweight and sturdy at that. I was able to carry, I said before, 120 down the driveway. The Shelby, on the other hand, oh my goodness, man, that thing was freaking work, bringing it up and down the stairs from the basement. I hate that screen so much. I'm never buying one ever again. Sorry, but you got to make a lighter screen. That thing was way too heavy. Another problem you don't have to worry about in any projection screen, the size. Are you actually getting the size that you paid for? Because they do this sometimes. They'll say you got a 100-inch screen. They'll take 2 inches of it off for the border. And that means you actually don't have a 100-inch screen, a 98-inch screen. The rest of it is actually in the frame. So you have to make sure, they have to tell you, so when you look at your screen, make sure you look at what is the viewing area of what you're actually picking up. Because some of them will sit there and say, well, you're getting a 100-inch screen, but when you look in the viewing area, we'll go to Amazon and do a little search shot. I'll show you. And you'll see where it says viewing area 98, which means 2 of that is in your frame. So you really don't have a 100-inch screen. That's what you got to be careful about. I've had people contact me when we're doing blackout fault pre-coated materials, and they were like, is it actually 100 inches? Yeah, it's actually 100 inches. You got to be careful about that. Another thing you have to watch out for, I've seen on Amazon, where they're trying to sell 4.3 aspect ratio screens and pass them off as 16:9. So let's say, okay, it's a 4.3 screen, but you can do a 16:9 within the screen, which is true, but still, it's not 16:9. It's actually 4.3. That's what you got to watch out too. You got to watch. I've seen a couple of those. A dangerous one at that. Screens claiming to be fully weatherproof. That's extremely dangerous. And I've seen a couple of companies actually advertising their screens to be weatherproof, to be sealed, and they're not actually sealed. Elite has a sealed screen. If you go up there, it's a certain code number they have to show that the screen is actually sealed, it's weatherproof and all that stuff. And usually there's a section that will talk about that. It'll give you specifications on why it's sealed, the number and all that blah, blah, blah there. If you go there and it says weatherproof screen for indoor and outdoor and none of that information is up there, do not buy it. You're going to run into being electrocuted or basically having your product fried. But anyway, getting back to this right here. So, the cardboard system. The best system, it works fantastic. Cardboard never steers me wrong. It never does. So, the cardboard system is fantastic because with the cardboard system, we don't have to touch the wall at all, period. And the reason why it's sturdy and it's not going to fall back, this thing is glued in. It's hot glued. It ain't going anywhere at all, period. The base of it here, that's all hot glued. Everything in there is all hot glued in. Every single one. I put the tape on it on the outside So basically, you know, for a little bit more reassuring. So not going anywhere. It's like one big solid wall. Yep. So with that being said, the panel system, which we're using right here, this is the panel system we're using. The panel system is plastic. I wouldn't use for fiberglass. Fiberglass is too expensive. This is it right here. As a matter of fact, we got it on the table right here. This is it right here. These are the plastic sheets we get over at Home Depot. Not Home Depot. We got these over at Amazon. We got 8 of these little squares for around 48 bucks. And they link together perfectly. Hot glue gun, they just slide in place and they lock. They don't raise up a little bit, nothing. They lock perfectly in place. Freaking love this. Best idea. Best idea. And once we coat it, you can't even see the lines. The lines are gone. Mine, our stuff really has a nice thick texture to it. It's not too thick, but it's thick enough to hide and mask any imperfections that you may have in the surface. This is why thin like skin coatings is a bad idea. You know why? Because any imperfections is going to push through. And the reason why I know, because other than the other person who tried this, Glue Screen used to have it set up that way. Glue Screen had a very thin coating, and it required for people to constantly sand their walls down so you can remove any imperfections that may pop up in your wall. It required a lot of sanding, and this is what happens when you make a product too thin, like a skin-like coating. Any imperfection is going to pop up right through your screen. But when you have a screen with a good amount of texture to it, it allows it to mask anything that may pop up on your wall. It covers it. So that's why when we do demonstrations where we're linking screens together, you can't see it. It all blends into one. It's designed to work like a bit of a filler at the same time, but also a screen paint to be able to cover all those nooks and crannies that would save you a lot of time than going over top an entire wall with sandpaper or a sander to try to basically get that cleaned up so you can actually apply the surface. Mind you, when you're using a sander, this is dust that's going everywhere. So you're going to have to, like I said, treat it like a crime scene. You're going to have to tape everything off because everything's going to be covered in dust. You have to have a window. You're going to have ventilation going in and out. You have to cover your face. And you're going to have to go in and you have to sand this entire wall down so it's flat like glass so you can apply this application to. Again, freaking headache. That's why if you go back and look at my old demonstrations on the digital and crystal screen paint, you'll see me up there, the statement in the videos, paint a screen 1 hour or less. Now, an hour sounds a long time, but really wasn't an hour. But technically, back then, when people compare themselves to Glue Screen's process, you're talking about at least 6 hours, I think, or so to paint that screen in. Let's see if I can find they have a promo demonstration. It's an old one back in the day, but man, yeah, it was tedious to put one of those in. So after that, but the walls had to be sanded down. So at ABS forums, you just would see just videos and videos of people just spending weeks sanding their walls down to get them down like glass so you can apply the application. That's why in the demonstrations you'll watch, you'll see me have walls that are already painted, walls that are marked up, and we just paint over top of it and pull an image. There you go. We did the opposite of Glue Screen. When everybody was trying to be like Glue Screen, we became the opposite. Another way for you to get your product out there. So this is the panel system. The panel system is the most affordable and cheapest way to set up a beautiful screen with our technology attached to it. So the boxes, they're free. You're going to get a glue gun. I got a glue gun for like $8, and it came with enough glue to basically do this job and that job with no problem. The panels are cheap. You can get over on Amazon. I'll put a link at the bottom. We can actually pick up the panels. I gotta start doing that more often. Sorry about that. I do apologize. Sometimes I get so caught up in stuff I literally forget about half the stuff that we buy that you can use and make screens. We never put the stuff down below, so you can't figure it out. So we'll put the link down where we got these panels from. They do make panels in bigger sizes. You can go to Home Depot and get them. They make them at 48. I think the biggest one we've seen was actually, it was pretty big too. It was at 48 by 96. They make them 36 by 72, and these right here are 24 by 36. I like these because, again, I don't got to pay for a lift to go all the way out to Home Depot, pick up this stuff, bring it all the way back in. It comes shipped in, and when I got this from Amazon, it came boxed, which is very important because some companies don't box it. They'll wrap it up in some kind of saran wrap and send it to you, and then if they drop it in the process, your corners are all dented up because they didn't box it correctly. These actually came boxed. Well, I'm ordering another pair, another set pretty soon to do this screen over here, and you'll see everything came boxed. Fantastic. So I'll be ordering from that company again. All right. So that's why it took so long, because trying to figure out how to put a screen in without physically touching the walls. I'm sitting there thinking, like, how the freak am I gonna pull this off? But yeah, God blessed us. The idea gave us the idea on how to do it, and man, it was cheap and it was free. The boxes are free. Glue's like $8. Like I said, I got the glue gun for $8 with enough glue to do both of these. And the surface is $48 for 8 of these. So you can build a pretty cool screen. And once you coat it with our technology, well, you got an amazing image. So, cheap screen, pretty much costs us nothing. Cheap projector, and with our technology, we can make it look absolutely incredible. That's the whole purpose of what we do, is the fact that affordable and allowing you to build your screens out of pretty much whatever the freak you want. That's what it should be, the freedom to apply your surface to anything you want. Like I said, if a product is too thin, you're going to run into some problems, especially if you're doing, I've seen people take pieces of wood and they'll join them together, 48 by 96, or hook them together. And then what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll basically have to put putty, because you know you're going to have cracks in there. So they put putties and they basically sand it down and everything, and they put the primer on it and all that stuff, and then you paint over it. Problem I saw in the demonstration, sorry to bring this up, but it's true, in the demonstration, that the surface that was already was primed, there were white specks all over the surface. Now what those white specks were was, it was the previous primer pushing through the surface because the coating application was too thin and it was not able to mask the previous screen that was underneath. That's what we saw in the demonstration. It was, whatever you put in, it was way too thin and it wasn't taken well. There's no way in the world you should be rolling over application that many times. Can you imagine you bring a painter into your house to paint the wall? He brings his own paint with him, and you watch him paint over the same surface about 10 times, the same stroke over the same area. Like, is everything okay over there? Like, you should have been past that and moved on. Yes, because the product is too thin. That's why. Using cheap paint, that'll do it. Everybody knows what happens. Everybody painted with cheap paint before. You all done it before. You know the difference between good paint and cheap paint. If you don't, you will find out. I had a friend of mine who was painting her nursery for her daughter, and she wanted to get this cheap paint, and I was like, nope. I'll be in there all day long trying to cover the previous wall up. It'll take me forever. Even if you prime it, you're still going to have to try to cover over the primer, because the primer is going to bleed through. She wanted to get this cheap paint. I was like, nope, I'll pay for it. I paid $50 a gallon for it. It was definitely worth it. Number one, the color. This is a big change in color. The color is much more vivid, much more bright, has more punch to it. It's more vivid, it's more punch. Cheaper paint is dull and ugly. It is. It's very dull. So, yeah. So, went in there, took the paint out. She painted one part of it, not part of the wall, but a little part of it, and I went right over top of it, and hers disappeared, was gone. I said, look, see, that fast, that easy. And it's thicker, too, on top of that. Keep in mind, if you're painting a ceiling, your application has to have texture to it. It has to be a little thicker. You're painting a ceiling. So you want to hit the roller and you bring it up. The last thing you want is paint splatting you. A splatter effect triggering off while you're trying to paint a ceiling. I painted dozens of ceilings with that technology. And you've seen on the roller, if you saw the demonstrations of me painting the ceiling. How come we don't have any of this demonstration stuff? I got to get a couple of demonstrations and put them on the site. You can see me dip the roller in and hold it and show you that nothing's dripping off the roller, and take it up and apply it to the ceiling. I did a few paint on demonstrations. So, again, as I said before, you don't want it too thin, because, again, this is going to hit you in the face a lot. And every place else. It's going to splatter place out. Splatter effect's going to be an issue. But anyway, getting back to this. So, yeah, easy to do and extremely cheap. The box panel system, actually, I love it. And you see that stand right there? That's also made out of boxes. And the panel on the top is made out of this PVC material, because the reason why I like this, because it adds more structure to the surface. This one has a tip. That's right across the top. That's all PVC at the top, so the box has more structure. Last time I did a box projection screen, I noticed that the boxes were sinking in. That was the problem. So this time we put a panel across it to strengthen it. Yeah, glued it all in, hot glue gun, and bam. No screws, no power tools, nothing. Put the whole thing together. That song Ice Baby stuck in my head now today. So just wanted to share that with you. I'll put the link, like I said, below where we got the cardboard from. I mean, not the cardboard. We get cardboard we can get from the United States Postal Service. You can get it from there. We had the PC hooked up today. Fire Stick decided to have a tantrum today. No, not working today. Not gonna happen. Not today, buddy boy. Not today. Not today. So yeah, Fire Stick had a tantrum. Didn't want to work today. And they're like, buy Fire Stick TV. Oh, heck no. Why? So I can argue with my TV about what channels I want to watch and all pass. Are we hooked up? I think we are hooked up. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I've done bed sheets. I've already painted over bed sheets. I've turned bed sheets into projection screen. I remember one time I was sitting there watching TV, and I remember spending, and nothing against Carl. They make good products. I've bought from them before. But yeah, it was a bit pricey, and I'm always trying to figure out ways how to do things on cheaper. You know what I mean? Good quality, but still do it for cheaper. And I'm sitting there, and I'm laying on my bed sheets. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, how come I can't use this as blackout cloth? So I go over to Walmart. I go pick up this printed. The first one I picked up was tan, and then I picked up another one that was printed. And went over to Home Depot and basically went back and did a video and showed you how you can actually convert a bed sheet into a projection screen with our technology. We did styrofoam. I was in Home Depot. I saw these styrofoam insulation strips. I was like, what if we put all these together? Can we turn that into a projection screen? It's cheap. It's lightweight. Now, of course, somebody in their video, again, not educating themselves on what we do over here, came off and made a statement about styrofoam. There's different types of styrofoam. They just don't make one type of styrofoam. Now, you have the styrofoam they put in boxes and stuff. Don't want to use that stuff because that has all that nooks and grannies like an English muffin. That'll take you forever to paint over. They have something called insulation styrofoam. You get it in a seafoam green, or it comes in white. Sometimes I've seen some in white, which is rare. We saw ours in white. And it also comes in seafoam green and purple. So it comes by in different sizes, and again, easy to paint over. Easy to paint over. If you feel that your screen's going to be snapped in the process, I mean, it was done in the process to show that it can be done. And I literally had customers actually build screens out of styrofoam. You know why? It's cheap, it's lightweight, it's not even hard to hang. Basically, some double-sided sticky tape, and voila, your screen is up there. We've done aluminum screens. I got a couple of screens made out of aluminum. What's the other thing we built the screen out of? That was weird. We did micro mesh, turned over micro mesh, used that for some kind of a virtual stimulator. They're fantastic for golf simulators, by the way. I'm trying to think of some crazy stuff we paint. I painted a blanket one time. A lot of you know, it's on the other site. It's on the Chrysalis site. We painted over a blanket. I was just sitting there looking at the blanket we got from U-Haul, and I was like, I wonder if we could turn that into a screen? And yeah, we did. I would advise spraying that in first, just to let you know. Multi-coat application and primer is interesting. I'll tell you why. If you're doing ultra short though, your walls, you will find that your walls are perfectly flat. You know how you find your walls are perfectly flat? Take an ultra short though, hit your walls. Ultra short throws had to be laid on actual very flat surfaces. When people get motorized projection screens and they try to use an ultra short throw projector, it would get a kind of a ripple effect. It would distort the image. Now, how you fix that, you have to get something called a tension screen. Now, tension screens have that line that runs through. They lay perfectly flat every single time. So that's why they're fantastic if you're doing this with an ultra short throw. The bigger your screen, if you don't have tension, the higher the ripple rate's going to pop up. The more lines and waves you're going to see to your surface. So, when you're doing this on a fixed range screen, fixed range screens don't have this issue. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to be buying this and you're going to be building this screen yourself, what I did was I had a screen I put down in the basement. It was 129 inches, 1610. By the way, the 1610s have weird odd numbers attached to them. So if you see that on your projector, you can actually build those screens with Projector Central. It'll show you how to build your 1610. But anyway, we used an acoustic material because acoustic material would stretch around the frame perfectly flat. Unlike sometimes when you use fabric that's not stretchable, it can leave some lines or imperfections, or even like a kind of like, if you don't staple it right, you'll get a like line in material that may pull up, and this will also distort the image. But spandex is fantastic for painting over. Now, you wanted to get it stiff like a board, because again, you're going to be using this for your ultra short throw. We like the network grade 773. As like I said, I use that stuff for priming all the time. Some people may get a little hurt when I mention that, but again, that's your problem, not ours. So let's move on. Anyway, so as I said before, that you want to paint it, and I showed a demonstration how to build a screen. You want to paint it the first time. Now, when you paint it the first time, it's going to go on blotchy. It always goes on blotchy because, again, it's absorbing. We do this with any screen. We show you when you do a fabric screen, you paint your first application, let it dry, then you paint your second application. We've seen people actually put this in their specification sheets. Again, copy from us, but then again, we actually painted the screen to show you how to do it. Once you put the second application on, it goes on a lot more smoother. You see a lot more of the paint push through. Which the first time you do it, you're going to see a lot of the black surface push up, and you're going to see a lot of some of the gray push up. That's because it's absorbing. Second time, it's going to be all gray. When you put in the all gray, when it's all gray, that's the second application. Let that dry. Now, how we do the drying time for our screens is we like to use a fan. Take a fan. Make sure you plastic the bottom, for goodness sake. If you don't, you'll find out the hard way. Wait. No. If they're strapping that to a frame, you don't have to do that. But you still have to lift the frame up off the ground. You're still going to have to do that. So if you attach it to a frame, that's another, I'll explain that later on how to do an outdoor grommet screen. That's different on how you do those. All right, so it's already attached to your frame. So what you want to do is you want to lift up your frame and put it on crates and then put a fan underneath of it. And that's going to cause it to dry. Now, mind you, the crates have to be high enough so the box fan can fit underneath of it, because mind you, the floor you have on the other end is going to be saturated with paint. That's the paint bleeding through the surface. It's going to saturate that section. If you try to dry it that way, it's going to take forever, because mind you, the air is going to go up, it's going to go down, but it's going to be a river of paint waiting for it, and it's going to take forever for it to dry. And then you run the risk of the screen actually sticking to the floor of the plastic. You don't want to go through that. So lift up your screen, set it on 2 crates for each corner, or you can just put down 2 crates for one corner here and here if you got it balanced well. Put your fan underneath of it, and your fan is going to dry it from underneath. That's how you want to dry screens like that. When you put multi-applications, you want to dry them from underneath, not over top, because that air is going to push underneath of it, and it's going to dry your screen the opposite way out, and that's where you want to do it. It's faster, trust me. If you do it the other way, you got a swamp of wet paint down there waiting for you. It'll take forever for that stuff to dry. Yeah, it's the fastest way to do it. Now, once that's dry, then you put down 2 more additional coats to it. These are dry just as fast. Once that's done, this is going to stiffen the surface. So what you're doing is you're starching your surface with paint. You're stiffening it, and then it'll be flat as a board. You can sit there and knock on it. It'll sound like a piece of wood, and this will be fantastic for your ultra short throw application. I have to find that demonstration showing you how to do it, so I can post it on the how-to page on our Crystal Edge page, which I'm going to be uploading some new stuff today. We're in the page right now to put some new stuff in there for you. If you're doing this on the fabric screens, the ones we did outside, the big boys or any of those, best way to do those, put plastic underneath of your screen. Always do that because it's going to seep through. It's definitely going to hit the floor. Paint your screen in, and what you want to do is you want to get 2 heavy buckets or anything you can have, because you have to brace the fan, because not the fan's going to fall in from the weight of the screen. So you're going to brace the fan on each side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the grommet and you're going to bring it up on the corner, and you're going to tie that to the handle of your box fan. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow air to push under the screen. That's how you want to dry it. If you try to dry it the other way, it'll take forever, because mind you, you have a swamp of paint that's seeped through your screen that's sitting on that plastic. It's going to take forever for that to dry, and that's going to stick also to your screen. So to make sure it doesn't happen, that's what you do. As the screen starts to dry, air is going to push underneath of it, and it's going to cause this kind of bubble effect. When it's done, you're going to have something what I call the Aladdin. This is where your screen is actually floating off the ground. It's going to look pretty cool though. But anyway, then your screen's dry. How fast is the drying time for this? I was able to dry 250-inch screen in somewhere less than an hour. So yeah, it dries pretty quick with 1 fan. Some people put 2 fans in, or if you want to go crazy, you can put 4 fans in if it's up to you. I'm actually going to be building a docking station for my fans. So I'll show you how the blueprint and how we put it together. Pretty easy. I can show you right here. Regular piece of wood you want to get here. You want to put a peg here, a peg here, a peg here, and a peg here. So what you're doing is you're going to put, okay, wait, you can put 2 pegs here, 2 pegs here, 2 pegs here, 2 pegs here. That way you can slide the box fan right between those 2 pegs. It can't fall over. You don't have to have any 5-gallon buckets there. You can repeat the same process here and here. And in that way, when you paint your screen here in the middle, when you get ready to dry it, slide your box fan here, here, and here, and here. Get some, I would say you can get some Velcro ties, or you can get rope, and you just tie each corner of that screen to the handle of each fan, and that will cause airflow to push back and forth and dry your surface even faster. See, just gave you an idea of how to do it that fast. Heck, you can manufacture and process screens. We have people who have actually, I got customers who actually have signed contracts with us at one point to sell our products to make money. Yep. Because we'll come back and call us and say, hey, Ken, by any chance, can I get like a distributorship discount, because I want to go in and I want to basically sell your products? And yeah, we have to write them up for contract and all that stuff. And I got some people, and this is hilarious, I got some companies that will contact us. We already know from the door. Let me explain to these companies real quick, because they pop in here and see this demonstration. We know what you're up to from the door. We already know. What they'll do is they'll try to say, hey, we'll work out a contract with you and all that. You're not working out a contract. It'll be our contract you'll sign. We don't sign your contracts. No, 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 no. Learned that lesson a long time ago. Better to do your own contracts, people. That way, again, it's your contract at the end of the day. But anyway, so they'll say, hey, give us a discount here and there. You know, we'll come back and get you a contract and so forth and so forth. Like, I don't mind giving you the discount. If you want a discount, just ask for it. You know what I mean? Don't basically come in try to belittle or basically insult my intelligence on a contract. First things first, I'm telling from the door, we're not interested. We don't need a contract, we're not interested. But if you buy a certain quantity, you'll get a discount, and that's usually what they do. We get that all the time. I guess it's their business way of pretty much doing business. Maybe we'll give them something, we'll sweeten the pot. I'm going to explain something to you real quick. When you come in and buy quantities from us, we usually will give you a discount anyway. But if you do come in and you do that nonsense in the day, you know, I'll go elsewhere. You know, I don't got time for it. I mean, like I said, in the day, the Lord always blesses our table to have exactly what we need. So we're always going to have what we need, regardless. It doesn't take a big contract to push us here and there. If it's meant for us to be there, it's meant for us to be there. If it's not, it's not. I don't fight it. I go with the Lord. That's how I do it. That's why I told you in business, it's virtually impossible to try to get me to sell out or throw a bunch of money in my. It's not going to work. It really isn't. Not going to work. We don't worship money. We worship God. Like that. I can understand how you get such a little bit of food. I've been to some couple really nice, fancy restaurants, and I'm looking at the food like, wait, so that's it? Like, that is not going to work for me.
School's good.
I don't even know how that even works, to tell you the truth. Oh, I saw this demonstration. This is what I wanted to do. This is the one I wanted to check out on here. I'm not going to go off topic. I know I'm catching myself before I do it. Trust me. But I just thought about that when I saw that little bit of food. I went to this fancy restaurant. And man, you got to be kidding me. I'm paying that much money for this little bit of food? No, I'm good. I understand people say it's the experience and all that stuff. Don't care. I want food. That's all that matters. I'm going to go right across the street. See that hoagie place over there? You can catch me over there. That's what I'm going at. Get myself some food. Couldn't care less about that fancy food. That's the part that gets me. But I have friends of mine like, oh no, you understand, it's the experience. And then people seeing you walk out of this fancy restaurant, especially when it's super hard to get in, so they can just talk about it. I don't care. I'm going across the street. So I go dive over there. Over there, yeah. Where they got the real greasy food over there, that mom and pops, that old fashioned, where they make that real home cooked food where it's made with love and not for fashion. You can catch me over there. That's where I'll be at. Eating some real food. That's worth my money. And I've had that. One of my brothers, he's the one I told you, we call him Wall Street, because he, you know, that's what he does. He makes very serious money. You know, that's what he does. Is Wall Street. We call him a Wall Street boy because he's a man at the end of the day. Trying to, I guess, I don't know, sharpen my horizons or whatever. I don't know what he was trying to do. But anyway, took him to this really high-end class restaurant, and I'm looking at this food, and I'm like, literally, what it looked like. I'm not saying like this, but this is literally how much food was on the freaking, like, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It was just a little bit of stuff. This, something here, and then you had some little weird dish over here with this something in it. It was like this. I was like, what the freak is this? Like, rabbits eat more than this. And the guy was like, oh, this is the most finest meal, and so and so and so. I'm like, man, I'll see you later. Pushed that away, walked out the door, walked around the corner, looked around up and down the street, finally found me a nice little hoagie shop on the corner. Went over and got something to eat. This is food at the end of the day. There's nothing there for me to eat. No wonder y'all so angry all the time. You're hungry. And he was just the bitterest can be coming out of that restaurant. Like, get out of my face. I gotta get my car now. What the frick is wrong with that person? Is it expensive? No, there's nothing eating there. You started. And the thing about it is real funny, real quick. You can't ask the chef to make you a cheesesteak, which would be really nice, right? Because you know they got some good stuff back there, right? Because that's an insult. Sometimes to some chefs, that's an insult. To ask them to make a cheesesteak. Like, I got all these skills and you're going to ask me to make a cheesesteak. Yeah, make a cheesesteak. But yeah, that's something. That's what reminded me when I saw that plate. I actually went to one of these restaurants. I was like, nope. And the whole tie thing, you got to wear a tie, you got to wear a dress jacket. Why can't I just walk in with a t-shirt and my hikers on and my cargos? That's one of the things I love about my dress code at the end of the day. I don't dress for show. Never been that type of person. It's just not for me. I go in and in this office building, everybody in here has got suits and dressed up with briefcases and all that stuff. I don't know any person walking in here with freaking cargo sneakers and boots and t-shirts and cargo pants. That's it. Yep. They don't realize that I'm the guy. For most of the people here, some people here know what I do. But the rest of them, they look at me like, he must be maintenance, or he must be, because I kind of dress like a maintenance. I mean, I got the blue pants on and the chain with all the keys and everything. They probably think he's maintenance and realize some guy's engineering your technology for your place. But they don't need to know that. That's not important. It's not about show. I walk all up and down the district up here. And they don't realize that I'm the guy that's going to be putting that ad tech and all your advertisements, sports bars, and all that stuff. That'll be my technology in the day, but no one knows that. They just see me as this everyday Joe, and that's the way I like it to stay. I'm not the flashy type. Don't have to have this fancy, flashy car to show up how much money you make, and I'm still going to dress the same way I'm dressing now. Why would I change? I like the way I dress. I don't need all that stuff. I'd rather basically sink my money into, like I said, helping other people out, which I plan to do. And I like the technology. I like to build PCs. I like to build stuff with my hands. That's what my buddy's teaching me welding. Oh my goodness. I'm learning welding so I can learn to build my own gaming simulators. That's what I'm learning it for. So he's going to teach me all this stuff. So I'm learning from him. I like the welding mask. I love it. It's cool. I got to get me one customized for myself. But he says I'm not ready to graduate from one yet. I still have to work. I have to earn that mask, that customization. But as you can see, the panel system, very cheap, very affordable. It's cardboard. Go right over the best boxes. I think I'm gonna put down which boxes. As a matter of fact, I got them over here. These are the boxes we use. Now they make a thinner version, they do, but you have to get them online. So this is the medium flat rate boxes that we use right here, but they do make a thinner version. So I'm gonna go online on my account and I'm gonna order the other version, because these are the thinner versions not available on at the post office. You have to order those. So I'm gonna get the other ones too, the thinner ones. So I'm gonna get those. Yeah. As long as you got that, when we first built the screens, I didn't really think about, when I was in the garage, about using the panel system. I just had the boxes up there, and you've seen the little lines all up in the boxes and stuff, and yeah, it was just for the time being. But now, doing this whole panel system, oh man, it just makes it so much easier. And keep in mind that you're gluing a plastic to cardboard. That surface combined together, it fuses. It fuses. It's like basically it's like welding something down. It's not going to go anywhere. Doesn't take much glue either. A couple dabs here and there. just seals. Now, I would advise that, see, between each surface, I would advise you putting a line of glue down. So basically it seals tight one to another. And then once you coat our technology on, voila. Got a screen you can use in a fully lit environment. Never get used to this. Never get used to it. So that's the whole purpose of it. Like I said, building screens with everyday stuff that you have just laying around, you can literally build screens with. And since it's coated with our technology, that's the whole purpose. It's the reason why we test our products, so we can take out certified screens. So you can have a screen better than a certified, that costs cheaper than a certified. A screen that's automatically ultra short though compatible. You don't have to go and buy a special screen for that. You don't have to be stuck in dark environments. You're not forced to calibrate your screens or your projectors to get your screen and color to react right. You don't have to worry about washout or fading. So mind you, with that technology, whatever you coat with it becomes a high performance screen, which gives you the ability to build your screen out of anything you want. As long as it has this coating on it, you'll be able to do things that other screens can't do. Now, for those people who doubt that, I can literally make this a challenge. I can come back in and make a challenge. And matter of fact, I will. Fully lit environment, match or better. We've done these so many times, and there's no one doing this. Let me get my meter out, because I have to get to show these off. Show the meters off, because again, we get people come in and watch my YouTube videos, never heard me before, they wonder, like, somebody will ask, like, where's the meter at? Shouldn't there be a meter in that environment? Trust me, I would do the same thing myself. That's the reason why I'm my toughest critic, because I would literally do that if I saw this video, like, where's the meter at? It's got all this light in there, where's the meter? All right, so we get our meter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. I like this because it's actually the color of pumpkin. All right, we do this every time. Drop our meter to the floor, as we always do. Now, some people say use a meter right. Well, the meter's not going to work if it doesn't work. That's all to it. All right, so we'll hit it on, and that's it. Look, the meter's on the side, and there's so much light in here, it still cancels it out. I would have to take my hand and bring it over top the meter for it to read. So that shows you how much light is in the environment. We move it away, meter cancels out. As you saw in the splatter screen display, even in the dark, when we turn out the light, a white screen cannot compete with our screen. You know what this is? That's a roll-on application. It's actually one of the first ones I tested. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Why did you eat the pumpkin? I think some people get upset when I talk about our product. Hey, what am I not going to talk about? It's right there. You know what I mean? And anybody else can do the same thing. You can make the same screen. You can, but the problem is you just have to get the same reaction we get. I have my certifieds too. I'm going to do a couple of certified demonstrations too, but I'm going to show that off. Still got to get the other ones over here. They're fighting me, but we're going to get them. Ooh, shoot. I'm going to use that for the robot. That'd be fantastic. And thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. We're not going anywhere yet, but I got a few things I want to show you real quick. But I do like to thank you for coming in and stopping by. And I'm sorry I did not mention before, but I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're not, put it in God's hands. He'll take care of it. Don't let it frustrate you. Everybody has those days where they get up and starting off with a frustrating day. I know. Trust me. one time had one of my computers was flickering, the screen was flickering, and just got finished downloading some software, and the screen was flickering. I'm like, ah, crap, I got a virus. And went in and deleted one of the programs, deleted the entire file out, removed it, ran the virus protection. It's still flickering. I'm like, what the freak did I download? I go in and I try to reboot it, bring it back on. It's still flickering. I can't figure out what the screen is. Why is it flickering like this? Like, what the heck did I catch? So, out of frustration, I went in and I basically formatted the entire PC. Mind you, this is a PC I had for roughly around 4 years. So I had a lot of software programs and none of it was backed up. Because I figured it corrupted all the files. So I wiped out a PC that was running for 4 years. Everything gone. And after I wipe it out, guess what? It's still flickering. So that's virtually impossible to wipe out a hard drive completely and format it and find out it's still flickering. Guess what was causing the flickering? There was a VGA cable that was leaning on the keyboard. That's what's causing the flickering. Yep. So all you can do is just sit there and just go. Pictures, files, documents. So now I learned to back everything up. Alright, let me see what's going on here. Oh, we are running. Okay. Yeah. Gone. Just gone. Over a freaking VGA cable on a keyboard. Triggered all that. Yep, so that's having a bad day. But can't do anything about it. What's the point of screaming and yelling about it, right? It's done is done. All you can do right now is just basically just try to fix it and get the best out of it. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do. Get to a point in life you realize there's just no point in screaming about it. Just figure a way how to fix it. That's it. Take that energy you have of screaming and yelling and ranting and convert it into figuring a way how to fix the problem and get it back on track. I had to learn all that. It takes time and patience because we are people at the end of the day. We do lose our temper and we get upset. But it takes a little patience to do. It does. Like when they deliberately make video games super freaking hard. Especially one games I hate are the ones that the game is so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so good that you literally have to stop playing it because you don't want to finish it because it's that good. So you got to space this thing out because you're rapidly going through this. And as this game gets better and better, you just reach this one particular board, it just ruins the entire game, the entire experience. Because on that board, they made it freaking impossible, super crazy hard, just ruin your gaming experience. Like, why do they do that crap? It's like unnecessary. Why? Really enjoy the game and then turn around and put something bonkers in there. And you have to beat that level in order to get to the next level. Like, it's a must requirement. There's no way to get around this. Yep. What was that? Far Cry 3. Yeah, I went through that. The cave incident. We had to do stealth mode. We couldn't make any noise in there at all. Period. The guards are like super sensitive. Yeah, that was a freaking nightmare. And you have to beat the game because you want to beat it so badly because you want to basically get to the final boss and jack them up. Alright. So we're in here checking out what I'm talking about the topic and we're past here now. We're just showing off the screen, having some fun. You know, that's what we're doing right now. Enjoying the screen. Mind you, for those who don't know me, we're on a projector, which is our Sony VPL CX100. It's a projector I love to talk about. I purchased it for $10. I'm so proud of my $10 projector. You have no idea. I did unboxing in the garage. Yep. Still in its original settings. Freaking love it. So I like the cheap projectors because, again, it shows my customers that they don't have to spend a lot of money. I love saying that to them when they say, I ask them, how much you going to spend on a projector? And they'll say it's only like $2,000 wallet, $3,000 wallet, $4,000. Like, what are you doing? We're not spending that kind of money. That's insane. What if it's going to spend that kind of money? You know, because they read all this stuff that they think they need. You don't actually need all that. The companies do that to you. Do you know that every time they bring out a new projector, they explain all these specifications that you're going to have to need and a jack. You have to turn out your lights to improve your screen automatically. Projector's not working. That tells you right there. If the thought pops in your head that you have to turn out your light to improve your picture quality, especially on a projector at 3,000 lumens, sitting on top of a screen at ultra short throw, your projector's not working correctly. And that's what we talk about when I go to these trade shows. None of your projectors are working properly. Why are you in these dark booths at the end of the day? Well, I have more light in this office than I see in most booths at trade shows. Especially Iowa. I was really shocked at them. Well, of course, again, you got that projector anyway. So much money for that projector. And I watched that demonstration they did at the trade show. They had the 150-inch in a booth because it was closer to the lights, because, you know, it's a bigger screen. It's going to be a little higher up off the ground. And the rest of them, they weren't even anywhere near the screens, which were somewhere between almost 20 feet up in the air. And they were saying, well, you know, they would work a lot better, but the lighting in the environment. Really? You see the lighting in my environment? There's no way in the world your screen would operate or projector in this environment if you're complaining about lights being that high up. So those of you who bought that projector, well, whoop-de-doo. We are working on a screen paint to help you out, by the way. Something a lot more advanced than the other ones we actually designed. This is going to be quite nicely. It's going to give you a little more boost. It's going to give your projector more color, more contrast, all that good stuff. And you're going to turn around and spend all this money for this expensive, exclusive screen they want you to pay for because it only works on their stuff. And yeah, we'll fix it for you, trust me. Yeah, it'll be available on the Christianwood site only, just to let you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in our archives, we're going to bring up something like a really dark, cool silver, and we're going to combine it into that technology right there, our FLE and other technology into it. And yes, we will test it. It will take out a couple of certifieds in the process. Yes, it will, because you have to do the certified. You have to. You have to. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be cool. So yeah, we're working all kinds of stuff. Those Pico projectors everybody loves. Well, we're working on a screen paint to make the Pico projectors look absolutely amazing. The first one is the Philips. So the Philips Pico projector is going to be combined with our theater in the box. We're going to be converting that whole thing, a whole new screen paint for just that projector, because we're going to sell this as packages. Theater in the box, theater on the go, theater in the box. I think it's theater on the go. Yeah, theater on the go and gaming on there. We're working on our own gaming company technology around gaming. I don't care what you game on, but yeah, we're going to develop technology for all that. And there are people sit there and say, hey, but I thought you don't like, my cat getting zoomies, I thought you hated, no, we don't hate console. I have more memories of finishing games and experience on console than I have on PC. I've console longer than I was on PC. My first system was a console. My first system was Pong. How many people can say that? My first system was Pong by Tandy Corporation before Radio Shack was called Radio Shack. Shows you how old I am. And how many people can say that? Remember sitting home? Some people can say that in this channel. They can say it. Sitting home with the UHF coaxial cable ready set up in the back. Switch it on to channel 3 and get that. And hit that button and boop, Pong pops up. My first video game was Pong. Console. So, excuse me if I don't know too much about consoles at the end of the day, because I've been around for quite some time. I'm a bit of a dinosaur in that area. And for the British community out there who thinks I'm making fun of your accent, no, I actually love your accent. I wish I can talk like you guys in the day. I freaking love your accent. You have no idea. Oh man, your suits are beasts. They make some beautiful suits out there. There's the suits I want. I like the wide ties with the vest and the pocket watch. Oh, so classy. Freaking classy. Even the walking suits is classy. I like it. That would be me with the derby. I like derbies. That's my favorite hat. It's a derby. English accent. I love the English accent. I have a couple friends of mine from England. I can listen to them talk all day long. All day long. Come on, say cereal. What is cereal? Cereal. I haven't seen their words and stuff like that. Beautiful accent. Anybody with an accent's nice in the day. But anyway, I like the English accent. That's why I'm not making fun of you. I adore your accent. I like how they say it. Not bloody likely. I love it when they say that. And people don't water. I like how they say bottled water. Delaware too has an accent too. When they say water. They say water. I think it's water when they say Boston has an accent. Boston. Oh, imagine if somebody from Boston, married somebody from Australia. Can you imagine that accent mix would be gorgeous, man, with the kids? That'd be insane. So I like hearing people say how they pronounce stuff. Pretty cool. All right, let me find, I'm trying to look for something here, and I'm hunting for it, but we're not finding it, people. I guess I got to use it this way instead, okay? Because we got to do it. We know what we're going to do. We're going to put that black paint up there because that's what we do. I like to show off my technology to do this. Look at you running around. There's zoomies. Somebody got the zoomies. Who gave me the zoomies? 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 You must got some new gas in your tank. The zoomie charging station. Give me the zoomie charging station. All right. That's our black paint. We do this because I love doing this demonstration. This is a fun demonstration for me. As I said before, for other people, this is a complete freaking nightmare. Now, I got to say this. It's very important. Look at Taco up here posing. Look at the zoomie. Look, see? Ears pulled back. Look at the tail. About to go into zoomie hyper mode. Hyper clash. You remind me of, what was it, Streets of Rage. Where the guy they're fighting that did hyper clash. About to do hyper clash. But anyway, you have to do this. Okay, this is something you should do in every demonstration. I told you I'll do it in every demonstration. Why not? I got to do it in every demonstration either way. It doesn't make a difference. I'm on site right now. Got to do it on demonstrations. Clients come in. I got to do it on demonstration. I'm going to be on site. I'm definitely doing it on demonstration. Everywhere I go, I'm doing it on demonstration. You have to do this. People are going to ask that question. What's the difference between your product and everyday paint? They're going to ask that question. Gotta have that demonstration. You gotta show the difference between your product and a white screen. And you have to do that in a fully lit environment. You can't do that in the dark. Which we saw people turning out screens in dark and well-lit commercial environments. And again, calibrating. No, you cannot use calibrated projectors. Because again, a calibrated projector is cheating. I love it how someone sits there and says that we use a lot of smoke and mirrors, but they're using a calibrated machine, which you're not supposed to be doing. Because again, if a customer is buying something from you, the image that you're displaying on your YouTube channel, what are you displaying to them? Are you displaying the actual image from the projector itself? Or are you explaining a projector that's been tweaked to look a certain way? Which means you're not being honest with your customers. So if your customer gets home and sets it up, is he going to get the same image on a non-calibrated versus a projector that's custom calibrated? There you go. Smoke and mirror in the door. So you're on a calibrated machine. The fact that you have to use, and when you sat there and said in the video, and I'm going to clear it up because again, not just him, we talked to other people about this, but he's fantastic to use as a person, as an example, because he literally did this and everybody saw him do it. When you sit there and say it's going to look better once we calibrate it, that is something you should have never said out of your mouth. Again. Because again, your screen paint is supposed to cause an improvement to the product. And we have to go through the extra step to calibrate it. Now, you're there. You can do the calibration. But what about for a customer who doesn't know how to calibrate? What about them? So that means your image is going to be lacking because they're not going to get the same image you're not going to be to get, because you can calibrate and they may not be able to calibrate. And they might not want to calibrate. Some people don't want to go through all that. Set the projector up. That's basically about it. Some people don't want to change the settings in their projector. That's it. So again, it shows that your image was enhanced by calibrating to make your colors look a certain way. And if that means in that whole, and I hate to bring this up, but it's true, in that network gray fiasco where you matched the house paint, if that was on a calibrated machine, that is extremely not good. Mine is worse enough. It was a 4K projector. It's worse enough it was a high-end ultra short throw, and it's worse enough the projector has a 2-million-1 sitting on top of it, again with a tri-laser projector on it. And then the machine was calibrated on top of that, and it still matched that paint. There you go. Not good. Not good at all. So when I heard him say that it'll look better, I'm like, wow, that's, even he himself admitted that it didn't look good. There you go. So, there you go. That's why we don't calibrate at all, period. It's a waste of time. And if your product worked correctly, you wouldn't even need it. You watch me on site multiple times. You've never heard me say, "Oh, we got to calibrate this because if we don't, you know, the image doesn't come." Ooh, never. Never. I'm not gonna have you do something I hate to do. I can't stand calibrating. And then one of the things you have to see in demonstrations, you have to see a comparison. Have to. Doing screens on standalone, especially in really dark environments, can't do that. Because again, the customer needs to know they have a white screen already. How much of an investment are they going to get back on your product? They're going to be to see the best. What's the best quality you're going to get from their projector if they apply your product to their white screen? So you have to show that massive difference between night and day. Can't be a match. Can't be on top of a screen. Right on top of the screen. Look, you can see it right there. No. I have to be to see it for where my desk is at. So that's where I sit at. That's why I'd like to show you this demonstration right here. This is for us. It's called black versus black. Anyone with a gray screen, it'll be gray versus gray. If you have a charcoal black screen, you'll be doing charcoal dark gray paint versus your product. It doesn't exclude you because your screen is basically charcoal and you feel you don't fit in that category. No. This bullseye primer, that makes a nice charcoal, a bullseye primer dark gray. It has it matches perfectly with dark gray mixes. You can use software gray. That's another one by Sherwin-Williams. They make several different versions of them that are dark charcoal. You're going to have to do that test. Now, for those people who think at the end of the day we don't have to do it, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have to do it. We do it in every demonstration. Demonstration I love to do. Look, Taco, that would have been you. If you were born somewhere else, that probably would have been you. You'd been a giant tiger, cheetah, or whatever, running around in the outbacks. Wow. You're looking at me like, There you go. There's your ancestors. Yeah, like I said, can you imagine if a domestic cat was 1,000 pounds? Like, there's two different types of tigers. If you want to be the aggressive and the domestic one just would have never changed. It would still have the same size and build. Oh, man. Imagine that scratching up your furniture. It's like, what if my sofa is sectional now? Yeah, that'd be interesting. It'd be cool, though. It would be super cool. To walk that thing down the street would be cool. Ah, I like these cats. They're so angry. I can't see it because that black paint's in the way. There's a name for that cat, too. On YouTube, they say, no, on YouTube and Facebook, they say roundly shaped, friendly, round shaped, extremely dangerous. That's a very dangerous cat. Go back and see that cat again. I forgot the name of him. That cat is vicious. That's a vicious animal right there. There he is right there. Look at him. Ah, big old head on him. Look at that big old head on him. Yeah. That it doesn't look like much. At the that cat will tear you up, man. I was actually looking. I forgot the name of that animal anyway. But yeah, I was looking at that. They say friendly person that you really don't want to play that game with. Taco, look at that. Look at the comparison, Taco. That could be you easily. That could easily be you. You kind of give me that look most of the time anyway. You're giving it to me right now. He's a funny dude, man. He's literally giving me that look right now. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky. He said, "You're lucky, buddy boy. You're lucky." If they made me just a little bit bigger, you'd be good. Come on. He's funny. I love how he poses right there. My buddy's like, every time the camera comes on, he poses right there. You should get him in commercials. Never, ever. Hollywood's not going to ruin my cats. Ain't that right, buddy boy? Ain't that right? I don't want to be one of those people anyway. All right, people, we have already hit the hour point on here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for coming in and checking out at the same time. Our goal is to make better, more advanced technology. Like I said, we do everything. We do floor, ceiling technology, all that crazy, tabletops, all that stuff. You know, work with interactive technology. Those of you involved in the projector mapping community, check us out. We got some pretty cool stuff involving projector mapping applications, all that good stuff. And I'm working on a couple of other programs. Right now, with this screen right here, once you get the Epson projector in, the Epson projector works with that software. I'm getting the rest of the software together to make this screen interactive. I want to be able to drag and drop objects off it because I want my clients to come in and be able to touch the screen and move things around. The guy we called Matrix, he's actually building artificial AI intelligence that's basically going to be talking about our products through AdGlass. So she's going to be coming in and explaining like what ad tech does and stuff like that, and she can change into different outfits and stuff. You know, I mean, different ways you can advertise your company right through ad tech, and she's going to be our spokesperson for our company. I figure got to do something with AI at the end of the day, so I figure, you know, I don't really trust it all that, but that would be a fantastic way to use it, to have it advertised through Glass to talk about our technology. So we'll have her everywhere in the environment. She'll be like the spokesperson for our technology. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time out there. We're going to be showing some invisible technology soon because we're going to be working on a roll-on application for rear projection pretty soon. All right, thank you for your time. We thank our Lord and Savior Christ, because if it weren't for him, none of this would ever exist. Got to go, and God bless.